Trade Association Scottish C1 Cup. That is what we have got next for you, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're having a wonderful afternoon, as always, watching the SMRC live stream here, powered by Reese Motorsport Insurance. And it's time for race 2 of these plucky little race cars that could. What a race we had there earlier on there, obviously, in race 1. Sam Corson ahead of Finlay Brunton and James Hitchin in that last race. Ross Dunn managing to have a decent little outing in that one as well. But really, it was all about Sam Corson. Finlay Brunton having a very sage and open conversation with Andy Alston after our last race there, having a chat and saying that, you know, it was that last lap error that Finlay Brunton had made going into McIntyre's, overcooked it, and simply went straight into the gravel that cost him that win on that one. That is by the by. Let's have a look at how they lead, how they grid up for the second race of the afternoon then. Max Watt is going to have pole position along with Andrew Davidson on row 1. It's the top 8 reverse. So Paul Winfield is going to be in 3rd position. The 822 lines up alongside that bright red 23 of Thomas Comer. The number 1 of Ross Dunn is in 5th position on row 3 alongside Finlay Brunton, looking to make amends for that first race earlier on. James Hitchin in 7th position alongside Sam Corson on row 4. Can your race 1 winner make it 2 out of 2 so far? Henry Gillespie is going to be in 9th position alongside Aidan Wilson in row 5. Row 6 is going to be Callum Conway alongside Lazou Benet. And then on row 7 is going to be Mark Nisbet with Rich Flett. Row 8 is going to be Ian Cochrane with John Proctor. And at the back of the grid, we hope we've got Gordon Melville, who we saw going straight off into the barrier in race 1. P17 for Gordon Melville. So, there we go. What we can guarantee, like every other race today, this one is going to be pretty intense. That is what we can certainly say for that one. Now, of course, for me, my mind goes back a couple of months. We had that first ever C1 endurance race here at Knockhill. A lot of these protagonists were out there enjoying the sunshine on that day. And sunshine is the word of the day. It's not a word that we're all too used to up here at Knockhill, if I'm being completely honest. But I am being honest. And it's beautiful. It's lovely out there. Which means that it's going to be quite pleasant in these little Citroen C1s. So, you know, with the fact that these are your normal, pretty much standard Citroen C1s, they've still got their dash fitted. They've still got the fans in there. They've still got your radio, so they're very likely listening to Duncan Vincent and Dr. Robert Johnson on Knockhill FM 87.7. And that's no word of a lie, because I've seen onboard footage where they're driving round and you can hear them being commentated on halfway round. So obviously giving them some valuable intel about where they are during the race. And, you know, why not? So we can still see the green flag off into the background there. Cars ready to go. And this is, again, I've always got such a soft spot for these cars. They are wonderful little machines. They're very plucky. They don't have a lot of power on them, but what they do not have in power, they make up for in sheer fun and boisterousness. You get 20, 30, 40, 50 of these cars on a grid on any racetrack here in the UK or in the world, and I'm going to guarantee you're having an absolute hoot. On the front of the grid then, as we said, Max Watt alongside Andrew Davidson, and we are underway racing yet again here at Knockhill. Great start there from Max Watt. Andrew Davidson, though, looks like got the jump on the outside, though, as the cars come streaming into turn 1. And Thomas Comer, out of absolutely nowhere, the 23, he's got involved in this as well. Paul Winfield fancies having a go. Oh, and that's a bit of contact there on the back of the 88 there, and there's going to be a little bit of argy-bargy going on as they come down the hill. That's the 110 of Callum Conway, who's also got in the mix. So there, you've got cars going everywhere coming over the chicane there, and that is Sam Corson. I'm not too sure how well these cars are designed to do autocross or rallycross, but Sam Corson has decided he wants to find out. But anyway, I mean, for me, the 822 of Paul Winfield has got an absolutely cracking start there. He's up into second place there. You can see the 497 of Max Watt has been absolutely gazumped down into third position there. And that is the 529, excuse me, James Hitchin, wiggling and weaving, under braking there. And this is all getting a little bit messy, as it's kind of predictable. When you get these reverse grid races and you get drivers who are in front of where they would normally finish on a grid, then it takes a lap or two for them to all sort themselves out. And my goodness me, does it make it entertaining in the meantime. Meanwhile, in the lead of the race, Andrew Davidson from Paul Winfield. Finlay Brunton up into third position as well. Sends it up the inside into McIntyre's. Job done for Finlay Brunton, although Paul Winfield is going to try and hold on to that position. They're going to go side by side up through Butchers, and Brunton gets sent off. And that is going to be the 23 of Thomas Comer, trying to make a move up the inside as well. Paul Winfield, though, held his footing. Absolutely top job, sir. Well done right there. And that means that that is going to be real heartache there, as the number 13 of Finlay Brunton under attack here from Max Watt right now. Side by side coming into the hairpin corner here. And again, you can see that's Ross Dunn in the number 1, having a look up the inside as well here of the 529 of James Hitchin. I mean, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 right now as they come across the line. But again, Andrew Davidson, decent little gap that he's got on this second lap here. He's got, what, 0.6 of a second ahead of Paul Winfield. Finlay Brunton in third has got a gaggle of cars behind him. He's got Max Watt trying to hold on to that as well. And again, a dip of the wheel into the grass there for Thomas Comer. That's going to be Ross Dunn up the inside, side by side through the chicane. This is never going to work. It does work. Ross Dunn battling late breakers, gets the move done. Ross Dunn up into 6th position. Great job of getting that car up in front there. And that means then that Sam Corson sent behind again. Then the 23 of Thomas Comer getting sent packing toward the end of this field. However, this is the key thing here. Sam Corson needed to rocket his way up to the front. He's not done that yet. But who has done that is Finlay Brunton. A little bit of a nudge there from Thomas Comer there. I'm sure that's going to go down very well to our former championship leader right now. So the 68 is under all sorts of pressure right now. So there you go, your race leader, Andrew Davidson, in the 70, going down through toughest step. But have a look in the background there. Max Watt get it all wrong. And James Hitchin up the inside, as cool as you like. A little bit of leaning going on there, but trying to take that round the outside. Are you kidding me? The 497 of Max Watt just held. Not only did he hold on to it, he's actually just kept that position. That is unbelievable driving round the outside of Butchers, through the outside of the chicane. Max Watt keeps that 4th position. And I tell you what, James Hitchin is going to be left scratching his head after that one, because there's nothing more he could have done. He sent the car in, he had the power on the exit of the corner, and somehow Max Watt was just like, no thank you, sir. Takes the position right back round the outside. Incredible racing here. 7 laps left to go. We're going to have 6 as the cars go this time by, though. It's still Andrew Davidson from Paul Winfield, from Finlay Brunton. Brunton just slowly making his way up through this field here. He's going to fancy taking that position from Paul Winfield very shortly. As the cars come streaming over, Sam Corson still just down in 7th position right now. He's maybe looking towards that race 3 that will be coming later on this afternoon. He's going to be up to the inside of Ross Dunn, though. Can't quite make anything happen. And the thing is you're seeing a lot of these cars, you know, hitting the curb on the inside and bouncing about, and The problem is that takes away the momentum of the car. And actually, it looks cool and it feels amazing in the car itself, but it's so slow. You need to have as much momentum in these little 1 litre cars as you possibly can, because if you lose any momentum, you're going to go backwards at a rate of knots, though. Sam Corson still ahead of Thomas Comer. There we go, the 497, and that's the 822 up the inside. So that is Paul Winfield, and somehow has lost not only a position to Finlay Brunton. Now, we missed that because that's the 822 of Paul Winfield back at the 3rd position, and now having to fend off Max Watt, who looks like he's just gone round the outside of that car, has got a nose width in front of that car. This is the battle for 3rd position. One of them's going to have to give right now, but it's still Andrew Davidson ahead of Finlay Brunton. And there you go, the 822 of Paul Winfield holds on to that position. Up the inside goes James Hitchin. Unbelievable move. That was very, very brave there. And out of nowhere, Max Watt has been relegated from 3rd position to 4th position. And that means that Paul Winfield, huge moment there for the 497, weaves back across. And that could have been so much worse for the 497 of Max Watt, and that is what happens when you push these cars a little bit too hard. The red mist descends, came through the chicane, never had that car afterwards, and was so very, very, very lucky not to put that car right back across the track there and get collected by somebody else. Meanwhile, Sam Corson now from absolutely nowhere. Thomas Comer as well just sent it up the inside. Huge contact with the right-hand side there of Thomas Comer. This is getting very, very messy indeed. And that is going to be Max Watt again. Now, I wonder if there's damage to that car, because either there's something wrong with that car, or he is really, really trying too hard to drive that car now. When you get damage to the car, the driving characteristics of the car changes. It can change in subtle ways, or it can change in huge ways. Oh my goodness me! What was that from Sam Corson? Tokyo Drift, huge moment. Thomas Comer up on his roof, and that's contact onto the curbs. That's almost certainly going to be a red flag. Thankfully, Thomas is going to be absolutely fine in that car, but that was a dramatic, dramatic moment, and that all started from Sam Corson absolutely out of control into McIntyre's. God knows how he didn't hit anybody, but he didn't. He kept the foot in, got the car going again, and then somehow in a completely separate incident, Thomas Comer clips either the curb or the car beside him, and that just knocks the car airborne and up over onto his roof. So we're going to have a fairly lengthy red flag while that car gets recovered. He'll be absolutely fine. These cars are, very, very tough. They've got full roll cage in it. However, it's a thoroughly unpleasant experience being upside down in that car. And obviously, you can see on the front left there, a lot of damage on that car. So the cars will be making their way into pit lane. And, well, there you go. That is a wild moment from Thomas Comer. And the car upside down. And, yeah, so you can see just behind, just to point out, ladies and gentlemen, you can see Thomas, as I said, absolutely unhurt from that. You saw him undoing his helmet, and you could see the hands device as well. He'll obviously be a little bit shaken up. He'll be a little bit shocked and possibly a little bit angry that his race car is upside down. But it looks like that is going to be the race finished. We're going to get a checkered flag on that one. So that's going to be Andrew Davidson taking the win from Finlay Brunton and Paul Winfield on that one. But a wild, wild red flag brings a checkered flag out to us on that one. And, well, what can you possibly say on that one? And, normally you need to get the recovery truck out to recover these cars. These C1s, just give about 4 guys and a couple of Weetabix in the morning, and you'll be able to get them righted up nice as you possibly can. And unfortunately, it's going to be a heavy landing, but it is what it is. Yeah, so you can see there, Thomas is... Oh, he's obviously a little bit unhappy about it, but I'm pretty sure I did see a smile there. He's probably just happy that it's done and dusted. But my goodness me, What a race that was. And without further ado, Andy Alston, my goodness me, right? Little 1 litre C1s, how much trouble can they cause? The answer is obviously quite a lot of trouble.
Yes, Dave, it's always a shame to see a race entering with the red flag, but thankfully good to see that Thomas Comer is out of the car and okay. But that brings an early end to the final race here in the Scottish C1 Cup. Andrew Davidson taking the checkered flag ahead of Finlay Brunton with Paul Winfield on the final step of the podium. Let's get a quick chat with Andrew now, who is finishing that one on the top step of the podium. Andrew, maybe not the way you had a right good scrap with Finlay and race just brought to an early end, unfortunately, but you must be really pleased with your performance.
It was a real surprise result, after qualifying this morning and race one. And then, Finlay was coming. I didn't know whether I'd hold him off, and the red flag is like, what's going to happen? So real surprise, but real happy. Good end to the day.
You must be really happy with the start as well that you got in, and just getting away cleanly and then building from that.
I knew I had to be on it at the start, and it worked. So and then sort of pulled a little bit of a gap, but just really pleased.
Good stuff. Many congratulations, Andrew. Andrew Davidson taking the win in the final race here in the Scottish C1 Cup. We'll grab a quick chat with Paul Winfield, who took the final step on the podium there in race number 2. Paul, just sum up your thoughts after that one. You got yourself in the podium, and you must be pleased with that one.
We've done a bit of testing yesterday. We've tried a few different things, tyre pressures and stuff, and it's obviously paid off in this race. And it was going good in the first race, but that pit's came on the top. Brilliant, delighted.
Good stuff, and again it shows the importance as well. Just a little change here and there in the tyre pressures, it can make a big difference as well in terms of performance.
Oh, massively. Even a couple of PSI on the fronts is night and day. Tend to go off a wee bit later in the race, but if you can get away at the start, it makes a big difference. I was starting to go off a wee bit there, but managed to head 529 back off, so now I'll take that. Take the third, delighted.
Good stuff, Paul. Many congratulations. Paul Winfield there taking the final step of the podium here in race number 2 in the Scottish C1 Cup. We'll grab a quick chat with the man who finished second in the finale, Finlay Brunton, who joins us now. All right, we'll do that, Finlay. We'll take your lead. Finlay, it's been an eventful weekend for yourself. I suspect you were closing in with Andrew. Then the red flag just brings that an early end to the race, unfortunately. But just sum up your thoughts on the weekend.
Well, good racing as always. Disappointing first race, I think, with positive aspects, but I think overall it was a negative for me. When I'm not focusing on races now. I'm focusing on the championship. So the rival that I had to beat bet me, so I'm never going to be too happy. But turned it around in race 2. Got a good rake of points. I think it would have been a first place if I had a couple more laps there. But that is what it is. These things happen. It's all motorsport at the end of the day, but I'm just glad to be coming away from another race weekend. Brilliant racing. Not much more damage on the car. A wee bit of persuasion marks, as I call them, but no real damage, so happy.
So what's your kind of mindset going into the finale then? It's a little bit down the line until we get there, of course, but you've been in this situation before. You're used to fighting at the front for championships. What's the kind of game plan going to be for that one?
Yeah, I think the advantage I've got as I am quite experienced with the pressure of it all, so I'm hoping just to kind of take race 1 and race 2, do the best I can, see what results come out the other side.
Excellent. Congratulations, Finlay.